out. So you want to make sure that you're actually got lots of time available to do all the things you enjoy on a social front, on a personal front, and on a business front. So I want to make sure today I am sharing with you some tips that you'll find helpful in regards to building your brand, but also some tips that you will find useful in terms of understanding how to navigate the space that you are in, right? So whether your focus is social media or whether your focus is doing online and offline or just offline, you'll be able to pick up some tips today from what I am sharing. So I'm going to, first of all, just check that I'm sounding okay. I hope that you have had a fantastic week so far. And I'm actually going to jump right into the live and no delays because I want to make sure that I don't take up too much of your time. So we're probably going to spend about maybe 10-15 minutes, if that. And you can interact with me. You can actually leave me a message in the chat. You can also leave me a message after you've watched the replay if you're not watching live now with me. But good evening. We are talking tonight all about the beauty of summer marketing. So welcome and good evening to you. So I've got a very brief presentation that I'm going to be sharing. And as I said, grab your coffee, grab your mocktail, wherever you might be at the moment. I know it's summertime, so some of you are on holiday, vacationing, but grab your notepad and make sure that you are ready to take notes. And of course, you can also ask me questions. So if it's the first time you're hearing about my brand, let me just quickly tell you, really quickly, because this is not about me. I am in the business of helping other business owners. For the last 28 years, I have been working in the field of branding and marketing. I also run my own social media management agency. I am also a mother of four. I was a teen mum, and I am very, very proud of my two eldest children. And I'm also sure that my two youngest are going to make me just as proud. And I'm quite fortunate in that I get to do what I love because I am actually not only just a coach and consultant, I also run my own agency. I'm also the author of the Brand and Marketing Planner, which has been going now since 2018. So we are going to be producing the next edition, which will be available for pre-order next month. And additionally, I'm also a trainer. So I train, I get paid to train and speak within other communities, also within other coaching groups. And I really enjoy that because I'm giving people tips, answers, and solutions to some of the things you might be stuck on. So, first of all, let me ask you, because I can see some of you are watching, let me know how much time have you actually spent? How much time and money have you actually spent in your business in quarter one and quarter two wasting time? How much time and money have you spent in your business in quarter one and quarter two potentially wasting time? Now, I don't want to sound like I'm telling anyone off here, but we are now quite a way into 2025. So if you're not really clear on what you're doing, what's working really well, what's not working so well, areas for improvement, where you might be able to pick up some new clients and customers, potentially do some collaborations, maybe even stop doing things the way you're doing it. By month 7 in the year, which is when I'm recording this, it's a good idea to just revisit some of the things you're doing and really just look at how much time and money you've wasted. And I am going to say the word wasted because I believe that there are a lot of us that are actually wasting time doing things online and offline that are not very good use of our time. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, look in the caption of this video and you will actually see a link to another video which I just recorded last week, all about the ways in which we are wasting time in our businesses. I'm going to get into the summer ideas for you now, and I want to say none of these are, fixed. They're all just ideas and inspiration for you. But if you are somebody who is wanting to improve your branding and marketing, you may want to consider these for increased brand visibility, but also just in terms of how you can actually represent your brand, share your brand story, and not be too overwhelmed. I've tried to include some tips today that are not going to overwhelm you too much. And thank you to those of you who've left a comment. I'm glad that you're here as well. I appreciate you. We are talking tonight about summer marketing ideas. So the first thing I'm going to say is really simple, right? Create a special offer. Like this one is easy. You may already have products and services that you're using. You may already have, courses that you've promoted at this time of the year before. You may even have special promos that you've done before. that have worked. Why not release them again as a summer special? Yes, simple to do. You probably already got the artwork as well. Why not create a summer special? Right? One idea for you right there. Do a summer special and make sure that you promote that throughout the summer. Easy to do, especially if you've done it before. If it's something new that you're doing, I would definitely recommend that you think about whether or not you need a longer period of time to promote it. Because really, if you want to have some longevity with what you're doing in terms of campaigns, you need to make sure you plan in advance. Try not to leave too much to the last minute. All right. So, just so you're clear, the summer special is a special offer. I'm not talking about like buy one and get 65 free. I'm also not talking about you giving away 2 hours of your time for free either for discovery calls, nothing like that. Just a simple summer special. It might be a coupon, it might be a discount code, it might be that you have a free delivery option. But think of something. Think of something. I'm sure you can think of something. You can let me know in the chat as well whether or not you are able to think of anything, but I'm sure that you can. Another idea, really simple, is to do similar to what I'm doing now. Host a hot seat or summer series. Offer live Q&A. I've been doing that quite a lot recently. So if you're not connected to my page on Insight to Marketing on Instagram, go ahead and connect there so that you don't miss out. But I am actually doing lives at the moment where you can jump in and ask me questions live, and I will answer and respond live and in the moment. And so that's an idea for you too. Why not host your own live Q&A? Tell me in the comments, what could you actually share live tips on in terms of your expertise? How could you showcase your knowledge? What could you do to demonstrate your stuff, but also potentially sell something at the end of it, whether it's that webinar or a recorded video that you do? It could even be a podcast, to be honest. But if you are able to demonstrate and show your expertise, that's going to put you in a good frame of mind in the mind of others. All right. So think about what you can do in terms of demonstrating your expertise to host something, do a live, pre-record something, and just showcase what it is that you know. All right. Simple to do. Doesn't take up that much time, especially if you pre-advertise it so people know when you're going to be going live, what you're going to be doing, how often you're going to be doing it, and where they need to find you. And if you've got a newsletter, you include it in there. And of course, you can schedule some posts as well to make sure that people actually know when you're going live. Now, you may or may not have cottoned on. I haven't really been promoting my lives and my videos. I've just been literally making announcements last minute. But that's only because I really want to make sure that I do not forget to give out summer tips. Of course, you can find lots of summer tips on my YouTube, lots of summer tips in my newsletter if you're in my newsletter already. But I also wanted to come with some new tips. You know, it's good to have new tips for 2025. So that's exactly what I'm doing. So make sure that you are subscribed to my platforms so that you do not miss out on some of the tips that I'm actually sharing. All right, another tip for you is to host a collaboration. Like literally go ahead and partner with someone. I don't know if you've got any brands that you've had your eye on for a while. I'm not sure if it's something that you want to do in terms of like buddying up with a group. Maybe there's 2 or 3 or even 4 or 5 of you that you could do a collaboration with. Why not host a summer picnic? Why not host an online event? Why not do a live video series in collaboration with other brands on Instagram or on YouTube? All of that, great for visibility, but also you work better when you work in a group. You work better when you collaborate. You also work better when you are joining forces with other people that are aligned to your mission and wanting to achieve similar goals to you. So don't discount the beauty and power of a summer collaboration. My only disclaimer that I would like to say is if you are going to do a summer collaboration, make sure that you know who you're collaborating with. Get those agreements in place, get those testimonials in place. Do not flop yourself by joining forces with someone who actually isn't aligned with you at all. All right, because sometimes that does happen and we learn lessons along the way, but actually you don't want to learn too many of those lessons because sometimes you can get burned. All right, another tip for you is to think about whether or not you can actually look at your reviews. Now, I don't know how many of you collect reviews, but I've been talking for a long time about the importance of creating reviews, opportunities for people to leave reviews, and also collecting them and literally putting them in a library. In fact, I mentioned this earlier on this week when I was talking about the ways in which you can actually, improve the way you collect feedback. And so you can actually create like a glow up campaign, like literally before and after. I don't know if you work in skincare and beauty, or you work in like hairstyling, or you're a fashion stylist, or you're a confidence coach, or you're someone that helps people to feel more confident when they're speaking on stage, right? These are all ways in which you can do really, really good before and afters. So think about whether or not you can like share reviews. Have you got reviews? If not, could you collect some? Maybe that could be a campaign in itself to actually collect reviews and then share them the following month. And I'm going to be wrapping up in a moment, but I will say any reviews that you have, like stored and banked, don't be afraid to reuse them. Just quote, if they're not current, just quote and say, like previous clients have said, or 2022 quote, but be transparent because, people can always do their checks. And I'm someone about, doing your checks and validating claims. Very, very important. And I'm sure if I'm doing it, other people are doing it as well. So, your girl's not here saying I'm a 7-figure or 8-figure coach. I'm just saying I can help you to improve your planning. I'm just here saying I can help you to get better results. I'm also here saying that if you're stuck on branding and marketing or organizing your content and you want better results to be more visible, attract clients, make some sales, and see transformation and change in your business, yes, I can absolutely help you do that. That's what I've been doing for the last 28 years. And I speak very proudly about that because I've got a whole load of testimonials. I think near enough 800 now, where people are sharing as recently as literally this week on some of the things I've done with them and the results they've got. So definitely look at the ways in which you can actually use testimonials to promote how great you are and what other people are saying about your brand. Okay. That might be something you can do, which is quite simple, very easy. And if you like these ideas so far, let me know if you do like them. Let me know if you're going to try some of them. If you're watching on the replay, also let me know, have you tried any of these already? Maybe you've tried some of these already in previous years. I'd love to hear from you if you have. And don't be shy. Leave a comment in the video as well. And let me know what you thought of this particular video with the tips. All right. Final point, I think it's the last one, is that I like this one because it actually helps you to be a little bit accountable as well. If you've been struggling for content for a long time, right? One of the ways in which you can actually start producing more content is by sharing behind the scenes. Now, that, unless you're someone who is really like very conscious about being polished, being, very professional looking, always having the makeup done, always looking really professional all the time, like always going to be made up, done up, then this might not be a good one for you. But I'm talking about behind the scenes, as in making your cup of coffee, walking the dog, going to the park, jumping on a train, running and missing the bus, going to a meeting, getting mic'd up for an interview. All of these kinds of things are part of your brand story. So I would recommend that if you are not already, you absolutely want to be thinking about the ways in which you can share your brand story and also the ways in which you can share behind the scenes. Now, something I shared earlier this week is that when you're sharing BTS behind the scenes, if you are doing faceless videos, right, they work with voiceovers, and faceless videos can also double up with text overlay. So it may not even be that you're saying anything. It might just be that you type some text or some tips or a motivational quote. It may just be that you record your voice when you're walking and showing your shoes, walking along the pavement. But remember, whatever you are collecting as B-roll content or as faceless content, whatever you're curating, right, is going to be sharing aspects of your brand story. So again, piece it all together, make it make sense. If you're going to create videos or you're going to do pictures or carousels, think about how you can share behind the scenes. And simple things like 30-second videos, even 8-second videos, can really help you to stay in the feed as long as you're providing value of some kind. And let's not forget, when it comes to content, you want to make sure that you are actually sharing valuable content. So you need to have your content themes. You want to make sure you're clear on what people want to see. And of course, if you are using email marketing, don't forget you should also be integrating email with your social media. And of course, you want to make sure that if you've got, a blog post, you've got, email sign up forms, you've got YouTube link for people to watch a version on video, you've got a Spotify account, integrate all of that if you can. It shouldn't be too complicated to do. If you're stuck, send me a message and I can send you some tips. And also, don't forget to include offline. I think a lot of us have become really bogged down. And I'm stressing the really here. A lot of us have become really bogged down with getting results on online marketing only. So yeah, you're really good at building your brand. You've done your photo shoot, you've done your website, and now you're just focused on getting results on social media alone. Let me tell you now that there is a better way. and that's integrated marketing. Let me also share that if you're not already, you should be using offline methods if you can, if you've got capacity, to combine that with everything that you're doing online. So I've just shared event sponsorship, newspapers, brochures, bus backs and outdoor media, attending meetings in person, going along to networking events, showcasing via media like, TV displays, banners, even marquees at events and expos, and of course, printed materials, which actually covers off brochures as well. But we're talking about annual reports, leaflets, business cards, that kind of thing, right? So you want to make sure you've included some offline and that you've integrated. And I think it's worthwhile me saying as well, if you're not already, make sure this summer you've got a way to capture leads. Don't leave yourself high and dry out here. Make sure you have got a way to capture leads. Okay. And by that, I mean someone's email, someone's SMS text, someone's WhatsApp message, someone's postal address. I mean, whatever it is you want to capture, ask people to opt in. And I've put on screen a few ways that you can do that. If you're listening in via the podcast, make sure you go to the YouTube channel. You can catch all the slides, all the presentation materials, and you can see there exactly what I've shared in this presentation. Now, I do hope that I've been able to share some tips that maybe you hadn't considered. I also hope that I've given you lots of value, because you know that's what I'm about. And I hope that you'd also be considering these tips and thinking of ways in which you can implement them in your business this summer. And not even just this summer. Let's think about how we can actually make this happen, across the year. Block out time, create some campaigns. I'm going to finish up by saying, make sure you understand your customers and clients. This is a big one for me, because I think even if you've got a fantastic campaign, even if you've got an offer in mind, even if you are producing fantastic content, if your customers' needs and motivations and your understanding of what their interests are and even why they buy is not at the base or the foundation of every campaign you're doing, you may not be able to get the results that you want. And I want to manage your expectations, because if you're out here thinking that you could just go out and blast a campaign or send out lots of WhatsApps and get bookings immediately, marketing can sometimes feel exhausting. If you want it to feel less exhausting, get clarity on some of the things like your brand, who you are, your target audience, where they hang out, the tactics that are going to work for you, test a few, and then make some decisions, the channels of communication that you're going to use, the timings that you're going to do your campaigns and the offers you're going to run, and of course, how you're going to hold yourself accountable to actually get results and do the work. Now, I'm going to finish by saying, if you've got any questions, you can get in touch. My details are on the screen. My website is insighttomarketing.com. I do come with 28 years of experience. I'm not self-taught. I'm not someone who's like just rocked up watching a few YouTube videos and then I'm regurgitating this stuff. I have done this, lived, breathed, and eaten branding and marketing for the last 28 years. And I'm packed with case studies and examples and ideas. So do get in touch if you've got any questions. I really hope I've given you some food for thought today. And leave a comment, leave a feedback. Do subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And let me know what you'd like me to do a video on next. Drop me a line via email and make sure you're also signed up to the emails so that you can get the notifications of when I'm going to be going live. Take care. Speak soon. Have a fantastic summer, people. Bye for now.